You are about to discover the ultra-rare secrets to captivate any man, make him fall in love, and keep him around as long as you want him. I'll show you what to say and do with men which will make them feel an amazing connection with you to an extent where they would be literally addicted to you. That's the reason I strongly urge you not to skip any parts of this video and watch it till the very last minute. Are you facing any of the following situations? I would like to ask you a few questions here. See if you relate. Have you ever come across a man who seemed perfect relationship material, but after a few dates, you could tell that he just didn't feel the same level of attraction as you felt for him? And you really wanted to take things to the next level, but for some reason, he didn't show a similar intention and you didn't know what to do about it? Or do you often struggle to keep a man's interest for long? Have you ever slept with a guy too soon only to realize that he has almost disappeared from your life for no apparent reason? And does it happen a lot even when you know it shouldn't be happening? Or are you in a relationship where you just don't know how to get him to commit further and take it to the next level? And you always ask yourself, why isn't my relationship moving forward? Every time you try to bring up this subject, he always avoids the topic and acts overly distant and withdrawn to the point where you fear he might leave you? Are you in a relationship or married to a man who is sort of pulling away and losing interest in you? Or has already broken up and you want to get him back? Are you feeling absolutely helpless and frustrated because you want to make him understand how much you want to be with him, but for some reason he doesn't see that? Whether you are struggling to keep a man attracted after the first few dates, want him to propose, or just want that old loving spark back in your marriage/relationship, I am going to show you exactly how to keep your man close to you and inspire that side inside him which will keep him utterly convinced that you are the only woman for him. The real truth behind why so many women struggle with their relationships. To answer this in a single sentence, I would say, men just aren't easy to understand for most women. In fact, majority of women have absolutely no idea what goes on in a man's mind. I am sure that in case you are going through any of the above-mentioned situations, then you are definitely struggling to understand men. But hey, I'm not blaming you for it. A man doesn't come with an instruction manual which will show you how they actually work. Therefore, it isn't really your fault. But here's the worst part. Most women end up turning to their girlfriends for advice. If you are like most women, I am sure you discuss your relationship issues with your girlfriends and ask them for relationship advice. And let me take a wild guess here. Every time you go through one of the above-mentioned situations, your girlfriend always says, "He's a jerk. Forget about him," or "He doesn't know what he is missing," etc., etc. Taking such advice from one of your girlfriends, sister, or even aunt is a perfect recipe for disaster. Just because one of your girlfriends told you that it wasn't your fault and the guy was being a jerk, it doesn't mean they understood your problem. And you know what I find really strange about this? It's when women spend hours talking to their girlfriends about how this certain guy isn't returning their phone calls. They often come up with real strange assumptions, like, maybe she said something which caused this. Maybe he has lost interest. Maybe he just wants to break up. Maybe he found somebody else already. And the list of maybes goes on and on. When in reality, the guy was just stressed over his work and didn't really feel like talking. So you see how little women actually know about men? Why men avoid certain women and chase the rest. Have you ever wondered why men run after certain women and avoid the rest? Why some women have no trouble attracting and keeping any guy they please, while others try extremely hard yet always struggle? Why is it that some women can easily get their man to commit, while others are scared of even talking about commitment? Why is it that some women know how to get what they truly want from their man, while others always complain about how their partner doesn't understand their needs? Now you might say that they're just lucky, but that's just not true. These women understand something about men which a majority of women out there have no idea about. Do you know that every man has a collection of attraction switches? And the moment you trigger these switches, you can literally make him dance to your tunes? Once you understand how to use these triggers, you can have his undying love and devotion for the rest of your life. This powerful ability will cause men to be super interested in you, even if you aren't the most beautiful or smartest woman out there. Now, how do I know all this, and why should you listen to me? My name is James Scott, and I am what most would call a relationship expert. I have helped women from all walks of life. I have transformed women from being single, lonely, and confused to attracting and keeping the man of their dreams. From a point where a woman feared that her man might never commit to the point where the man was eagerly willing to get on his knee and propose. From a point where a woman was left by her husband to the point where the husband literally begged her to take him back. Here's a secret about men most women don't know. Do you know the lamest excuse men use when they aren't sure about a woman? It's usually something like, "I'm not ready for a serious relationship right now." Well, guess what? When men tell women they aren't ready for a relationship, they're lying. The truth is, they aren't ready for a relationship with that particular woman. This is the reason why there are so many men who would say they just aren't ready for a relationship to a certain woman and end up marrying another woman within a month. Sounds weird, right? You might think some men are just screwed up, even crazy. But it's very logical. Let me tell you why. Men say no when they don't really feel that deep inner emotional urge to be with a woman. In other words, when there isn't enough attraction, he will always pull away sooner or later. How to become the woman men would die to be with and never want to leave. After years of research and studying successful couples, I started to realize that women who were successful with men weren't just plain lucky or doing it by accident. In fact, they were doing certain things over and over, and these were the things which were getting these men to feel strong attraction for them. The more I saw this, the more I began to think that I had stumbled upon something big. I figured that any woman who understands these secrets has no trouble making men hopelessly fall in love with her, making any man do almost anything to please her, getting what they want from a man without even trying, making a man want to spend his whole life with her. On the other hand, women who don't understand this often think all men are jerks, find men become more distant and withdrawn with time, always end up in a situation where their partner takes them for granted and they don't get the respect they deserve, always find themselves in the company of the wrong kind of a man who treats them like crap, always struggle to make the man commit. Here's some solid proof that this stuff works. Pay close attention. I'm going to share one of my rare techniques any woman can use to get her man to return her phone calls in case he's giving her the silent treatment or is acting distant for no reason. Before I tell you how this works, let me first illustrate how most women actually do it and how it hurts their chances. The approach most women take actually makes the man get even more distant. For example, here are the kind of messages women leave when their man isn't returning their phone call. "Please call me. This is really freaking me out. Why are you avoiding me like this? What have I done?" Or, "Matt, please call me back. This is the 5th time I'm calling you. Please, I really have to talk to you. We'll be waiting for your call. Bye." And the worst of it all, "Matt, this is an emergency. Please call me as soon as you get this." Do you know that as humans, we always want more of everything we can't easily have? So in other words, we pursue what retreats from us. And we often don't really put much value on things which are easy to get. Therefore, so far, you have been too easy for him, due to which he's taken you for granted and isn't answering your calls. What I'm about to show you next will not only triple his interest levels in you, but will also make him chase you around like crazy. Ready? This is the message I want you to leave on his answering machine. "Damn it, you have your answering machine on? This was important. Anyway, listen up. This really interesting thing happened today. I am bursting with excitement. I was going up to..." and then hang up. By hanging up and leaving the message in between, you have created this strange sort of tension which will push the man to call you back right away. This is what he would think. "What interesting thing is she talking about? And what is she so excited over? I really should have taken this call. Man, why did she hang up all of a sudden? I think I should call her now. The next very important step. After you've sent the above message, your partner will most probably call you back to know what you really had to tell him. And this is where it gets interesting. The moment he calls and asks you about it, say, "Hey, I'm so sorry. I'm in a bit of a hurry right now. Gotta go. We'll call you later. Bye." Then hang up. And do not call him for the next few days. And even if he calls, avoid his calls or keep it really short by letting him know that you are super busy and won't be able to talk. Now, do you know what you have done? Well, surprise, surprise. Before, your man was avoiding your calls and wasn't even interested in talking. But now you have triggered his emotions to such an extent that he would be almost driven nuts about you. But wait. Doing just this does not mean things will be smooth from this point on. These are only the beginning steps, and this is just one situation. I have put my magic secrets into an easy-to-follow, step-by-step manual. Every aspect from getting a man to feel endless attraction for you, to getting him to commit, even if he is reluctant to do so, has been covered with great detail. I have laid out the step-by-step instructions on what you should do in every specific situation you may encounter with a man. I have spilled out all my closely guarded secrets which will make you capture the heart and soul of any man you please and keep him devoted to you for the rest of your life. Here is what you will learn inside my manual. In section number 1, you will discover real secrets of the male psychology most women aren't aware of. This is how men think. Once you figure this out, you will feel a sense of power you never felt before around men. In section number 2, you will discover powerful emotional triggers, which will make any man fall for you. This will enable you to create intense attraction, which will make a man choose you over another woman who is taller, smarter, or even better looking than you. In section number 3, you will discover the invisible trap most women fall into and often harm themselves. Know this before it's too late. Here I share some of the biggest mistakes women make which can scare any man away within seconds. If you don't know what this is, you're probably making it now. I'll show you how to simply and easily eliminate this forever. In section number 4, you will discover the single most important key to getting what you want out of a relationship. Here I will show you how to make a man see you as his future rather than just something casual. In section number 5, you will discover the biggest fear men have they don't want women to know. Once you understand this, you will have no trouble in making him open up completely and share his feelings. Do this, and he will be more interested in you. In section number 6, you will discover how to make a man commit even if he is reluctant to do so at first. After you read this, you won't have to be worried about how to take your relationship to the next level. In section number 7, you will discover how women kill their relationships and never realize it. It's extremely important that you know this because this is where I will explain why men start getting distant and withdrawn. In section number 8, you will discover how to read a man's mind and figure out his true intentions. After reading this section, you will be able to tell what a man is really thinking even if he isn't saying anything much. In section number 10, you will discover how to influence a man to your way of thinking. This is where I will show you some very effective ideas which you will be able to use to make your man completely understand your needs and feelings. Once you discover this, you will be able to make your man give you almost anything happily. In section number 11, you will discover the most powerful thing a woman can do to resolve a conflict with a man instantly. Do you often find yourself in arguments and disagreements with your man when you are trying to tell him something? After you read this section, you will never have unnecessary arguments. In fact, you will actually be able to make him listen to what you really have to say. In section number 12, you will discover how to decipher his hidden messages. Find out if he is really telling you the truth. Here I share a very unique trick to really know whether he is telling you the truth or not. In section number 13, you will discover How to psychologically train your man into doing more of the things that please you. I would say if there was just one thing you were to read in this manual, make sure you read this section. Now I can go on and on, but I am sure you get the idea of what this manual actually has to offer. Since it's an ebook format, you can easily download it to your computer and start reading it 5 minutes from now. Now let me show you some feedback from people who have already read the book. Kathy C. says, an absolute must-read for every woman out there. This is by far the best relationship book I have ever read. Not only was it a real eye-opener, but it also showed me where I was going wrong in my relationship so far. It was remarkably spot on and enlightening for me. I would say this is an absolute must-read for every woman out there. Jen says, I am glad I came across this. I really wish I had known about your book a few years ago. It would have saved me a lot of pain and frustration. I must say that this is something that isn't taught anywhere else and would highly recommend it to everyone. Marina says, what a relief. My relationship was a constant source of anxiety and fear for me because I just didn't know where it was headed. I always struggled to understand how men think and why they do what they do. But after reading your materials, a whole new world has opened up. Now I understand things about men which were completely alien to me. I feel much more relaxed and confident in my relationship now. Cynthia says, you have done a wonderful job. I must say you have done a wonderful job explaining why some men find certain kinds of women exceptionally attractive and avoid the rest. Now I know exactly what to say and do around men. I am definitely going to recommend your book to all my girlfriends. Thanks a lot. So now you might be thinking, how do I get this book and how much does it cost? It costs $47, and here's the best part. You get to try the book for 60 days, and if for any reason you aren't satisfied with it, you get a full, no questions asked refund. So you see, you have literally nothing to lose here. Now let me show you how to download this book and start reading it 5 minutes from now. You have to scroll down this page and you will come across this button which says Add to Cart. Click on it and you will be taken to another page which looks like this. Once you reach this page, enter your payment details and then you will be taken to a download page where you can download the manual. You can use a credit card or a debit card to pay, and in case you don't have a card, you can even use PayPal. This site is completely secure, as you can see here. Therefore, your purchase will be 100% secure and safe. Thanks for watching this presentation, and hope to see you inside soon.